Hello, welcome to Coming Home with Jenny Oceans. This is your host, Jenny Oceans. And yes, I really need to record a introduction that stays the same, but I still haven't figured out what I want it to be. So here I am celebrating you for choosing to come and listen and knowing that by listening in here, you are going to grow, you're going to expand, and you're going to connect deeper to your true self. Today's episode is going to be, hopefully, whatever comes through, all about breathwork and why introducing and combining breathwork with your mindset. But first of all, as always, showing my deepest respect for the original custodians of this land, Bundjalung country and the Yugambeh people where I call home in this moment. Forever grateful for all who's walked before us, all that is walking with us, and all that is walking after us. Such deep gratitude for the incredible connection that has been created with Mother Earth, the choice of living on the earth and with the earth and understanding her harmony. So incredibly grateful for the connection and to be able to call this place my home. Aho. All right, everyone. Welcome. As you know, when you come in here, you're coming in here because you want to connect deeper to yourself. You're wanting to understand more about life. You want more out of life. You're here because you're investing time in yourself. You're here because you know that by investing time in yourself, you're also choosing to live your life to its fullest potential. So today we're going to speak into the state of why is it so important to bring in somatic, to bring in body work into your mindset work. Now, I've been in the self-development world, which I've told you before, for about 20 years. The first 10 years of them was totally unaware of all the things I was doing. I was reading the books, watching the movies. There was no social media, but reading the books, watching the movies. Like I've said before, I was forced to go to this 3-day seminar that was absolutely not what I wanted to do, but my employer forced me to do it. And oh, woo, am I grateful. At the time, I had no idea. This is like 17 years ago, and she took like $3,500 or something like that out of my pay. I had no choice. Anyway, I didn't get it at the time, but I get it now. Like I've said many times before, all the seeds get planted in our garden, and when they're ready to sprout, they will just sprout. Now, let's come back into the conversation of doing the mindset work is freaking phenomenal. But if we don't do the mindset work and incorporate it with our somatic, with our body, then we won't actually see any change, any sustainable change in our life. I've also said this many times before that I've been in talk therapy since the age of 5. I've been sitting on many professionals' couches up until I was 32 years old. So from the age of 5 to the age of 32, almost consistently all the way through all of that long time in my life. Now, I'm not saying that talk therapy isn't good. I'm saying sometimes it's very necessary to do, and sometimes it can support us, and sometimes having a chat with someone can be the only thing we need to support us through that journey, through that stage, whatever that stage is. And don't get me wrong, sometimes it's really necessary. I even said myself just the other week, I said to my partner, I think I might just want to see someone again. He's like, why would you do that? You invested so much time in learning and understanding and you know it all. And I said, yeah, but I just would like to sit and talk to someone that is not in my life, not involved in my life, and that comes with a perspective from an outside. Haven't got to that stage yet, and I actually don't really feel like a desire to do it anymore, but I did. And that's absolutely okay. But the thing is that when we go and see these professionals, they're not really allowed to telling us what to do. They're there to listen. So what we do is that we repeat what we feel, we repeat what has happened, and we continue to just dragging up. It's like scratching on a saw over and over again to remember how painful it is. And yes, like I said, sometimes this is really good. But if we only do that, if we only talk about it and relive it, our body is not picking up on any change, because trauma, we all have trauma. You know by now, I like to call it experiences. And the reason why we get stuck experiences is because at a point in time, something happened in our life where we didn't feel that we were being emotionally supported. That can be our mum losing us at the shop. That can be bigotries like sexual assault or violence, or it could be horrendous things, war, fire, being caught in a house on fire. It could be so many things. But, being lost at a shopping mall, or parents being late for pickup at school, or having an emotion and falling and not being supported with your emotions to feel what you were feeling in that point in time. It is when something occurs in our life and we don't feel safe, keyword, we don't feel safe enough to experience that experience with our fullest expressions of our emotions and be held through that. So that is the sensation in our body. If you, let's say, for example, you're in a car, you've previously been in a car accident. Let's say you're in a car. You don't even have to be in a car accident, but maybe you have. You're sitting in a car and you're on the highway, and all of a sudden, all of the cars are braking, and you're like, wait. And I lost my voice. Now, where is that thing? What just happened? Do you feel it in your body? Or is your mind knowing that experience first, that something could potentially happen? Now, you feel it in your body, right? Your stomach, you're like fully tensing up. Your whole body get tense. And once your body's fully tense, that signals to your mind, holy shit, we're in danger. Achtung, Achtung, Achtung. I always think about the genie in Aladdin when I say that. Achtung, Achtung, we're in danger, we got to do something. And your nervous system kicks in to sympathetic nervous system, and you're in fight or flight. You're here to protect yourself, right? But to come back to what I was talking about is that you're feeling it in your body. Your body feels it and signals to your mind. Your mind will send more of that signal to your body. You will feel it more in your body. Feeling it more in your body will tell your mind that it's even more happening, and we have come into the cycle. So when we are just talking about things, your body haven't released that feeling sensation right. So by just talking about the things, yes, sometimes it can release and sometimes it can be all we need. And sometimes it can mean that we can see things from a different perspective. So yes, absolutely. Mindset is amazing. Affirmations is amazing. Manifestation and talking about things and scripting things. Like, I love all of that stuff. You know it. Like, you can see it around my office. Like, it's every freaking where. But if we are not showing physically our body that we are safe, if we not physically can feel it, then the mind doesn't really comprehend what's going on. We don't actually notice any difference. So what I want to say is that all of these years in doing talk therapy, not very many things changed in my life. Yes, it started to become better. I released for a moment, and all these manifestations and affirmations and mind reprograms are freaking amazing. Like, it did massive changes in my life. And reading the Bible and praying to God and doing all of these things did massive changes in my life. But when I started doing breathwork 8 years ago, and I had no understanding of what breathwork was, I did breathwork. Every single week, there was a new release of a breath session that I did at my comfort of my own home, listening to this recording, and things just started to shift. Things started to change, and I was like, what the hell is going on here? And things just started to shift and started to change. And 8 years on, where I'm now, where I've done so much training when it comes to breath, I've done so much training when it comes to cold water immersion therapy. I've done so much training when it comes to your nervous system, when it comes to trauma, when it comes to life coaching, when it comes to mind reprogramming, when it comes to manifestation, when it comes to all of these things, your sensations, your senses awareness, when it comes to your energetics, when it comes to your all of the things. Like, I've done so much study for the past 8 years. But the piece that made sense was when I really understood that by doing breath work, your body catches up. And when your body catches up to the mindset work that you've been doing, then your nervous system starts to regulate. And honestly, every day this just becomes so clear for me. In the understanding of all the things that I have done and incorporating all of the tools and practices and modalities and bringing in the body to the mindset is what's truly have transformed and changed my entire life. And it's just so profound. My nervous system was shot. For so many years, I was in freeze. Like, I was numb as a freaking, I don't even know what, a toe that's been sitting in a fridge for years. That's not a funny joke, Jenny. But I was numb for so long, like an absolute ice queen, no feelings. I was medicated for years because I was so depressed. Again, sitting in this professional ear symbols, whatever you call it, in the professionals' offices, being labeled with all of these things. Believing it because I was shot. Nervous system was shot. I had PTSD, so they said. I had this sensation inside of my body that I would just go into these frantic states, not being able to breathe, not my heart rate would just raise, having anxiety every single day, having panic attacks weekly, and just really being fried, like freaking fried. And if you listen to my last episode, if you didn't, you should go and listen to it, how I was in that ship that was just sinking and there was fucking holes everywhere in this boat. And I tried to just patch them up with whatever I could until I decided that that was enough. It was enough, and it was time to become the shipwright and learn how to actually build a boat from scratch. So no matter what would happen to my ship, I would be able to fix it properly with proper fixing so it's not going to break again. And that's really where I'm at. And it truly is, I was going to say repairing your nervous system, but resetting your nervous system is so fudge and profound. And there is, I love the breath work has become real popular. I love that holistic wellness has been real popular. I love that essential oil is popular. Low tox is popular. Ceremonial cacao is popular. Smudging is popular. I love that all of these things are popular. It's freaking amazing. But it's a matter of using the building blocks and the building blocks and the building blocks until we get into that state of just feeling fucking good, man. And I had someone saying to me, I was like, you know how you say you always feel like that good? Like you just sit there and you have tears running down your face and you just have so much gratitude for life and you just feel so blissful. I'm like, yeah, every day. And they're like, I felt that for a moment. And I said, yeah. And that's why I've become so addicted to teaching people, because I want everyone to be able to feel this at any given point in time. This doesn't mean that life is fucking rainbow poo and unicorns all day, every day, but it means that we understand our body and our mind so deeply. We're so deeply connected to ourselves that we can see what potentially could happen because we've learned our patterns. We can see what potentially could happen, and we can make sure we alter that potential future before we get there and regulate ourselves in so many levels. And this is just like every day it's just becoming so clear. And like when I work with my clients and the students inside Becoming, it just becomes so clear to me that what for me now feels so normal that I almost don't think about it anymore is really not normal for most people. And that is so cool because so many things has changed. So many things has been implemented. And it's not about quick fixes. It's not about let's just do this and then go back to normal. It's about slowly tweaking and making slight changes in your life to come into that state where you want to be. I just seen the most incredible, phenomenal reel about addiction. Something that you probably have noticed by now, that I have a deep connection to people with addiction. A deep connection with people with addiction. Cool. All of my life, I have had this connection to people with addiction. I remember when I was a very young child, I was often felt drawn to people with addiction. I would be at the shopping mall and I would be staring at them, wanting, like, just feeling this deep connection. And my mum would be, stop staring, you're going to get freaking punched down. And I was young. And I still have this, like, I'll be driving down a car, windows open and everything, and I will just feel them. I'll just feel these beautiful people. And my friends are like, what are you doing? I'm like, oh my gosh, I just feel them. I was like, what do you feel? I was like, can't you see? Can't you see? And they turn around like, no. I was like, wow. And I just have this, it's like I have all of these strings attached to these beautiful people. And I say to my daughter, I say, they need love. All they desire is love. Every human being in this world desire is to be heard, to be seen, to be loved, to feel safe, you know? And I don't know where I was going with that. Yes, this magical reel that I just watched. And it said that addiction, they've done this test with rats. So they did put rats in a locked up cage, and they had one water canister with just water and one water canister with heroin, and they would all drink the heroin until they overdosed and died. And he was like, well, this doesn't make sense. Like, they're in a cage. Let's give them the world, you know? So he created a rat paradise, the rat palace, rat park. And the rats have everything they could possibly ask for. Toys, they could have sex, they do all the things they wanted to do. And again, they had a water canister that was pure water, and water canister that was had heroin in it. And they would drink the normal water. And even if they did have the heroin water, they would go back to the normal water, and they wouldn't overdrink the heroin water and overdose. And he shared this thing. He's like, I'm not going to quote it, but something in line with how I understood in my mind is like, it's not the thing you're addicted to, it's the cage that you feel that you are in. And when I heard that, I was like, holy shit balls. Now, I've spent most part of my life with people with addiction, and I have never myself, like, I never really enjoyed drinking. I never really enjoyed drugs, none of the things. But coffee was an addiction in my life for a very long time. I was a barista for over 20 years. It makes me sound really old, but I loved coffee. Coffee was my thing, you know, energy drink, coffee, all of the freaking time until I was pregnant and I stopped drinking coffee and blah, 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 blah. Story goes on, but I haven't had a coffee for over 4 years. And I sit now in just pure bliss every freaking damn day. Yes, I drink my cacao, but I don't drink cacao every day. My partner's like, well, you have cacao every day. And I was like, no, I don't actually. I make sure I don't have it every day because I want my cacao to be ceremonial. I want it to be beautiful and a special moment. And if I had it every day out of habit, then it wouldn't be that anymore. And I also know for a fact that if there's anything I feel the need to do every single day, then it's not healthy for me. So I choose to not do anything every single damn day. I drink water every day, but you know what I mean. So, and I came into understanding that oh my gosh, this made me emotional. That when I deeply fell in love with myself, I also really fell in love with life. Now, I've been teaching women for a long while to fall in love with themselves and loving themselves. But to be honest, about 15 months ago, I actually deeply and completely fell in love with myself. And what that made me fall in love with life. Now, how does that look? I don't respond out of being defensive anymore because I have nothing to defend myself. My window of tolerance, which is a totally different conversation, but it has been so opened. It has been so wide open because I feel so much bliss and peace and love and gratitude and abundance in my life that I no longer jump down to the hyper-aroused state where I'm frozen, where I'm in nothingness. I was there for a long time, and I tell you, being medicated for depression, being on antidepressant medication, and I was on Depo-Relovera injections for, oh my gosh, I forgot the word, when you can't get pregnant. At the same time as I was depending on antidepressant medication, there was such a deep numbness for years. Like there was nothing. There was absolute numbness. Like that makes me feel sick in the gut. So there is actually no need for me to go into this hypo state. And there is also no need for me to go into a hyper state, which is on the other side of being all the defensive, because I used to be super defensive. I used to think that every single person in the world was attacking me. Everyone was judging me. And that was because I was judging myself so hard. I was attacking myself so hard. So when I've been doing all of this work for such a long time, but when it truly landed and I deeply and completely fell in love with myself, I'm not going to judge myself because I love myself. You know what I mean? So I just widened, is that how you say it? I just widened this window of tolerance so much that now I live in this beautiful state here. And to take me out of this window here to either dropping down or to jumping into the defensive, it takes a long while. You know, something has really got to be makalabuka for me to jolt out of my regulated nervous system. So I guess what I really want to say is that bringing in the somatic, bringing in your body into your mindset work is absolutely necessary, because your nervous system is your key to your overall health. Your nervous system is the key to everything in your life. It is truly and deeply something every single human being should learn at school. It is so important for everyone's overall well-being, and I guess that's why we're not being taught it at school. So I want you to think about this analogy. I often speak about the soul garden, how we have the soul garden, and for our seeds to sprout, we need to nurture the soul. And the other day, beautiful Chris, he spoke about the pot plant. And you might have heard this in the last episode, and I want you to know that I often repeat things because the more we hear them, the more that seed is going to get rooted, and when it's the time, it will sprout and we will actually hear it. It will land for us. I heard a few things the other day that really landed. I've heard them thousands of times, or maybe not thousands, but hundreds of times, and they just went boom, landed. So he explained in this beautiful way of, let's visualize we're having a pot plant. So we put a seed in. Now I'm going to extend this a little bit deeper. So for us to grow a seed, what do we need to do? Number one, we need to have the right soil. We need to have the right manure. We need to have the right spot for the seed to grow in. Some seed needs lots of sun, some seed don't need sun, and we need to water it correctly. So first we get the seed, first we prepare the soil in the right position, then we put the seed in. Now, sometimes when we plant things, it's going to grow really tall, really thin, and this massive long stalk comes up, and it's like a little bit wobbly because it grew so fast, and you're like, yeah, it grew. And then all of a sudden it grows out the leaves and you're like, holy shit, it's growing. And then the next day it's just fallen down as dead. It's like, what the fuck happened here? Well, it grew too tall, too high, too quickly, but on the bottom there was no roots. So for a seed to properly grow, we need to plant the seed in the prepared soil, and we want the roots to grow deep, deep, deep into the soil. so gripped. So every time I do a cacao ceremony, we are growing our roots deeper into the golden core, totally out of context, but still so relevant. We want to grow our roots so deeply and so strong. We want our roots to be super, super strong. And then when we're ready, we grow up. We come up through the soil and we grow up and we become this really strong, beautiful plant with a beautiful flower. And it's just a magical plant, right? But there's many conditions that need to be right for that plant to actually grow properly. The same with us. Let's visualize that the roots is the body and the beautiful flower is the mind. So for it to be strong and make profound changes in your life, actual visual and felt changes, we need the roots and the top to grow together. We need it to be a combined effort. And it's, you can compare it to so many things. Going to see a talk therapist could be like watching the iceberg. Like it's the tip of the iceberg, but it's so much more that is hidden, air quotes, in your body. Your body feels it all. Like they say that your gut is like your second brain. And it says that your heart is not only in your heart, it's also in other parts of your body. And it's so important to understand that. So for all the people out there that are like, breath work, I breathe every day. Man, I heard that so many times. It's okay. Like I get it. But let's just finish on this. I'm going to close off with this beautiful episode. I would love to know if you enjoy what you've heard. Please let me know. Put a comment, however you do it. Like it, subscribe, follow, however you do the things. But more than anything, I would love if you could share this with someone that you believe should listen. And I want you to know that every time you come and listen to anything that I have got to share, I am here to expand your growth. I'm here to connect you deeper to your true self. And I'm here to gift you with things. I'm not here to take up space in your mind and of your time by scrolling. I'm here to actually expand your life. So when you come and invest time with Jenny Oceans, you are investing into yourself. So I want you to know that, and I truly and deeply want to celebrate you for that. Now, before I leave you, I'm going to leave you with this little practice that you can come back and do over and over and over again. JennyOceans.com is my website. Please come on and know that there is a 15-minute free conversation you can book in for any single time. It is a free, no hook, no nothing. It's a free 15-minute chat that we will have. If there's anything you have questions about, or your nervous system, or anything at all that I'm able to support you in, just book in the call on my website. We'll have a chat. Sometimes I have people reaching out and all they need is 15 minutes, and that makes me so freaking happy. And also, if you're someone that want to invest with me, but investing your time and finances with someone that you don't know can feel a bit tricky. So I offer this so that you can come and connect with me and see if I'm the person for you, if I'm the one to guide you, and if I'm the one to light up your path, because I might not be, and that's okay. But when we're looking for that teacher in our life, we want it to feel aligned. We want to feel connected to that person. And that's why I always offer this beautiful 15, 30-minute chat. You can book it in easily on my website, jennyoceans.com, or feel free to send me an email, connect@jennyoceans.com. But before I leave you guys, this will take about 3 minutes. I'm just going to explain for you to do it, and you can come back and do it at your own time. I'll write down a note of how to do it. Super simple, but it's going to show you how big of an impact your breath actually has on your life. So I want you to visualize that you're placing your finger under your nose, and you want you to pretend that your finger is a white, fluffy, beautiful, soft feather. Now we're going to breathe so softly that we're not wanting to move this feather. Now this can feel hard, straining, challenging. Some people can get panicked, like if they in an overwhelmed state, they're like, I can't breathe. Obviously take a breath. But before you do that practice, I should have said this first. Before you do that, I want you to put your timer on 60 seconds and count how many breaths you take in a minute. So one breath is the inhale and an exhale. Don't change it. Don't make it faster. Don't make it slower. I just want you to breathe as you normally would. So put the timer on a minute, count your breaths, write it down. Then place your finger under your nose, and pretend it's a feather, and breathe that slowly and gently that the feather don't move. Do that for 1 minute. After that minute, I want you to again come back into a normal breath for about 2 minutes. And after that 2 minutes, I want you to put your timer on 60 seconds and count how many breaths you take in a minute and write down the result. Now, I would love to know how you go with that practice. Please share with me if you enjoy this conversation, if you enjoy this one-way conversation, if you got any golden nuggets out of this. I would love for you to share this with your friends in your life. Send it to a text, in a message, in a email, whatever you want. Know that you can always reach out, always contact me. I am here to support. That is what I'm here for. Jenny Oceans, your holistic wellness coach for women. And if you haven't enrolled to becoming, but you are curious, please jump on the website and book in for a free chat and let's talk about it. If you're 100% in, you're absolutely ready to make a transformation in your life and to absolutely change your life in 6 weeks. Jump on becoming. There's spots available. We kick off in May, and I would love to see you inside there if you're truly ready to make a change in your life. And if you're not, I'm building my free resource portal inside of my website where there will be plenty of free resources that you can have access to at the tips of your fingers. Fingertips. I think that was it. Thank you so much for being here. I celebrate you deeply for taking this time, investing in yourself. Allow for yourself to grow and expand. You're absolutely magical. Never forget that. So much love. Mwah!